Hi, back to this and that planning. Today we are doing a little tiny tulip kit called Lazy Halloween. The foil bundle is also by the same company. I will link them both down in the description box below. I am planning out the week of October 10th through the trying to read the foil in the dark. October 16th, it looks like. So 10th through 16th. I am still recovering from that strange cold. Why I keep calling it a strange cold, it was never in my nose. So usually it's like throat and nose, you have a cold, you have a stuffy nose, you have a runny nose. Like mine has just been in my throat. And I straight up had laryngitis, which basically means, that you lose your entire voice. It was crazy. So it's just a really strong cold in my throat. Still seems to be hanging on. It's so odd. It's well over a week now. So, I feel fine. I just sound weird. And then I have a random cough. So this is my first ever Halloween spread, my first official Halloween spread. I know planner community goes Halloween crazy. Myself personally, I am not. I am going to do 4 weeks of Halloween in my planner. But I think this may be my only year. We will see what next year holds. I'm kind of excited to see. But I do have to say I'm a little bit disappointed with being behind on my spreads because I want to talk about things that are more current instead of what I'm planning. And as we are looking forward to Thanksgiving and holidays, I want to talk about all the current seasons instead of back in like mid-October. I'm like a month behind here. So I don't know, I may have to rush a few. We will see because I have some other ideas as well, so maybe I might not rush. I don't know. But this kit I saw somebody else haul, and they put it with purple foil bundle. They got the same foil bundle, but they chose purple, and I went with a gold sparkle. This kit kind of had me at I'm a haunt mess. So that's one of the quote boxes in the overlays. So absolutely obsessed. And it's called Lazy Halloween. It's kind of more of a stay-at-home Halloween, which is more my vibes. So, anyway, I did enjoy this kit. It was fun to lay down. I did realize going back and watching the video footage, I always watch it before I do my voiceover, so I can see if there was any mishaps that I want to cut out. Very rarely happens, but sometimes does. And when I was watching myself lay this down, I realized I have a quirk, which I will put a stop to, but put it down in the comments if you can spot the quirk, because as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, I am a mess. So that is so fitting that I'm a haunt mess is kind of the quote box that I mainly used for this kit this week. You guys will see it towards the end, but please tell me if you spot the little quirk down below, because as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, we are putting a stop to that. Now I've already recorded my next base laydown, so there's nothing I can do about that. I can't, the only thing I can do is delete it or skip it, but not gonna do that. This week was a rather boring week, especially considering my part 1 and part 2. That is an ongoing situation, but this week everything really died down. It was kind of more of a peaceful week. There was one major thing that took place this week, and I'm kind of looking at, it's just like boring work stuff and more stuff and, whatever, yada, yada, yada. And then we get to Thursday. Now, when I got to Thursday is when things really started going awesome. So if you guys are teachers, you usually end up having a teacher bestie, at least one. It's a crazy job. Everybody thinks that they know what is involved with teaching, and trust, you don't know unless you're there. It is, it can be the craziest job. Everybody thinks they know because everybody attended school, especially K through 12. So you think you have an idea, and everybody's at least had that one teacher that's all about the gossip and will share the gossip with students. So you still think you know. But the crazy thing is, you don't know. You really don't know. So the only people that truly understand are other teachers. And I love to diversify. I love to have friends that are not teachers, other people out in the real world so you can talk to them, or as you say, in industry, because we're just civil servants, we do our job, we play with the kiddos. A lot of people think we're glorified babysitters. Other people think we're heroes. It's kind of an interesting situation. But anyway, so we all have a teacher bestie, all of us. And most of my friends are teachers, and most of my close friends are teachers, because only other teachers get it. It's like during the school year, you end up being so busy and so exhausted. It's like you could get a text at 8 o'clock and you don't respond till 4 in the morning. I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally fell asleep on the couch. It's like I came home from work, I sat down, I just meant to sit down for like 2 seconds, and next thing you know, I'm waking up in the middle of the night going, I guess I missed dinner. I should get my pajamas and go to bed. So it's very strange job. And having relationships and friendships when you're a teacher can be interesting, because either the person has to be very understanding or they just have to get it. So during the school year, especially certain times of the school year, you can be crazy busy. And it's not that you mean to like not talk to your friends and family. It's just that you are so busy and you are so far behind. Because I swear, teaching, like from day one, you're behind every single day. And when we post grades, it's kind of like a place to say, okay, right here is where we're going to call it good. It's not that you ever caught up, but you're just going to call it good. You're behind on teaching your curriculum. You're not doing things that you wanted to include. You're having to skip over. It's like you made the best plans, then things didn't go according to plan. And even like you're trying to grade, but then, it's like you also have kids that need extra help. So it's like you're trying to give the kids the extra help, but there's only so many hours in a day, people. And when you have teacher friends, like they know it. So like some of my friends will be like, I'm so sorry. I've been trying to contact you. I think about you all the time. It's like, no big deal. I know, because I'm doing the same crazy stuff too. I'm not worried about it. But like in the summertime, we have all the time in the world. We're sitting around twiddling our thumbs, trying to find the next thing to keep us busy. Sometimes we pick up a second job. Sometimes it's professional development. It's like, that's when we're like, okay, we're going to give you a call and have marathon long phone calls. And people sometimes don't get it because it's like they get used to, those off months where we don't have a lot going on, and all our friends and our family, like we're diving right back in full force because we're like, yes, now we get to, put into this bucket over here, the friends and family bucket. But when you're teaching, you're putting into the students. And that cough, I told you, I still got that cough. That one was a weird one. I was trying to fight it, but then, anyway. So, it's really awesome to have teacher besties, and they kind of get it without having to have conversations, and my mom, why I bring up my mom, my aunt's a teacher, so her sister is a teacher. She suggested that I go into education. I've been a teacher now for technically 17 years, but officially 15 years. Story for another time, maybe. I got an emergency certification while I was getting my degree. So I was teaching for 2 years on an emergency certification, but as I had not completed my degree and I was not state certified or highly qualified, but I had a state certification to do exactly that. They don't count it towards my years of service. It just kind of was like, hey, thanks for being a long-term sub, but I was more than a long-term sub, but not quite. I don't know. It's weird to explain. But anyway, so my mom like during the school year, when she doesn't hear from me, like it could be legit just a week, because I really try to make an effort to call my mom every Sunday, but like it could be just a week and she'd be like, I haven't heard from you in so long, it's been like 2-3 weeks. Like I'll have to make her open up her call log history or whatever to see when the last time she talked to me, and she's like, oh, it's only been a week. But I do try to make that effort. But she's like, are you mad at me? Are you upset? You know, like whatever. It's just I'm busy. So even my own mom doesn't get it sometimes. So why am I rambling on about teacher besties? I have a teacher bestie at the school. And on Thursday, she came to school and had a t-shirt for me that said teacher bestie. Or wait, hang on. I think it's like literally right here. She's my teacher bestie. Yeah, it says she's my teacher bestie. And it has an arrow. So like we both have one that says she's my teacher bestie, and it has arrows that point at each other. So she gave that to me on Thursday. Super duper sweet. Absolutely love that. So that was an incredible thing that happened this week. I did not win any places on the weight loss challenge. But I did hear from a former student. So this former student, excuse me, she was not my student, like in my class. She was a student that was in robotics club, and I had her as a freshman, and then I had her again as a senior. And this young lady is incredibly phenomenal. She's so intelligent, but, she also is very frustrating. She loves to argue a point. She loves to argue a point. So again, being her club advisor, especially her senior year when she was the president and I was the club advisor, she almost seemed to make a hobby out of arguing with me. However, I did appreciate it. The way that as a teenager, because that's another thing, she's a teenager, and some people look at them and it sounds like an adult, looks like an adult, it's an adult. You're 17. Anybody that's beyond 17, you know, you can be ahead of your game, you know, you can be mature for your age, but I think we all look back at 17 and we're like, yeah, I was still a kid. So, sometimes it's hard to forget, but the way that she would represent herself and argue her points, it was just phenomenal. So even though she was aggravating, she was also impressive. She did get accepted into MIT. She graduated in the year that there was no graduation, poor thing. Our school, we did do a thing where a lot of the teachers showed up and we made signs, and, you know, I don't know, people had, what do you call them? Like glow sticks, you know, and like crazy stuff. And, the seniors were able to drive through the parking lot, and all the staff was like cheering for them that came out and dressed up. I did do that. And she actually did do the drive through, but they did not actually have a graduation. That was, you know, year 2020. So it was the 1920 school year. But since we've been back in session, she has come back up to the school and checked in with several of her teachers, including myself, because like I said, I knew her from robotics, and so she's kind of stayed in touch. So she reached out to me on Thursday, letting me know that she was in town and wanted to get together to catch up, you know, talk about how things are going. And so we made plans, and she said that she was available for the weekend, and I'm like, well, you know, this weekend I'm doing the mud run. And if you're not familiar with what mud run is, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I know in planner community it's Halloween month, but it is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I have not had breast cancer, nor am I close with anybody that has had breast cancer, but I feel like it is a very good cause. Half the population are women, half the population is at risk. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think men are also at risk for breast cancer. And for a long time, didn't have the notoriety or the funding because it was a female thing. And even now, sometimes it's like we got to do better. So I appreciate that we have things like you have a whole awareness month, and we have, walks and mud runs. So mud run, you pay to go through this 3-mile obstacle course, which, as you may suspect, involves a lot of mud. It is women only, 7 years old and up, can do the mud run, and men can come and cheer us on. And my guy did come and cheer me on. So originally I did ask my teacher bestie if she would come and do the mud run with me, but she had already had a prior commitment. She has 2 sons and a husband, and October being spooky month as well, she had signed her whole family up for Witches and Waffles in Utah. So she had already had a commitment that weekend and was not able to get her tickets refunded. She had already checked because she didn't realize it was in Utah. When she found out she was in Utah, she was like, okay, let me see if I can get my tickets refunded. And she was not able to. So she kind of already knew she couldn't go. But she said next year. So I'm like, okay, I need more girlfriends, and I thought I was at a loss, but then I remembered another former student that occasionally will get in touch or keep in touch. And I call her my mini-me. So she reminds me so much of me, except better. Why do I say better? That girl makes such good decisions. Like, I look at the decisions and I'm like, oh, I wish I would have made that decision that way when I was your age. But why do I call her my mini-me? One day we met up for lunch. And when we met up for lunch and we're catching up and we finished, we were enjoying, catching up and talking to each other. And we kind of didn't want it to end, at lunch. So she just looked at me and she's like, hey, let's get a tattoo. I'm like, oh, girl, yes. Again, she's very, very intelligent. She gets white tattoos because she has not yet started into her career. She is working a lot of different jobs. She's been manager, what have you. She's also going to college. She's still trying to settle into what will be her career. She changes her mind, but we all do when we're younger. And I'm, in my mid 40s and I still have a possible change coming in my future. Not anytime soon. Sorry, clearing that weird frog in my throat. But anyway, so like myself, when I got my degree and I went into education, I set myself up to where I could also switch careers. I feel like being a teacher is effective only as long as you care. And I always hope, and I just always hope that the day that I start to not care and start becoming a little bit more jaded, then that is the day that I need to leave education. Because I feel like you're only effective as a teacher as long as your heart is in it. So I always had myself set up to where I could start another career if we ever reach that point. But I hope I never reach that point. So that's what I mean by a potential change in my future. But anyway, so this other young lady, she gets white tattoos. So she sees them. You can see them when you know what to look for and where to look for them. So I don't know if you guys see when I'm doing the stickers, but I do have a heart with an infinity symbol. That is the tattoo that we got that day. She got a white one on her ankle and I got a black one on my wrist. So that's what I mean by a girl after my own heart. She did join robotics. That wouldn't have been my thing, but my thing was softball. And mentioned it, and she joined softball. She also did like a summer softball league. She did it 2 years in high school, and then she continued playing softball a little bit after high school. So she really caught the bug. And that's what I mean by a girl after my own heart. She makes a lot of the decisions and gets into a lot of things that I also enjoy. So I had asked her, I contacted her, and I'm like, hey, it's not robotics, but it is a good cause. And, we'd be able to spend the day together. And she's like, okay, what? And I told her mud run. She's like, yes. So her and I had already signed up and we had matching outfits. So this other former student, when she contacted me and I let her know that we were doing that on Saturday, she said that her and her mom might do that. as well, because it sounded like a lot of fun and a good cause that she would want to kind of, join in. And she did talk to her mom, and her mom was not interested, but she still wanted to. So she contacted me again on Friday, and she's like, hey, can I go with you? She's like, I can meet up with you here. And then I told her I was headed to the school, and she's like, oh, wait a minute, I can meet you at the school then, because that's where I was meeting the other young lady. And I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. So she joined our group. So I got to go with 2 former students, both incredible, incredible young ladies. So, again, that cough, sorry, it just randomly catches me. But anyway, so on Saturday, we went and did the mud run. It was incredible. Now, I am very out of shape, and there is a reason why I have a weight loss goal. I want to lose over 100 pounds, guys. So I am very out of shape. But I have the mindset that you do not become fit and active by sitting on the couch. And mud run sounds like fun, sounds like a great cause, sounds like a wonderful Saturday. And especially when I get to enjoy the company of 2 former students, and I get to see what they've been up to and how they're doing. I'm in all day, every day. Now, mind you, I am, right about the level where I walk a mile, and this is a 3-mile obstacle course in mud. But we signed up, we meaning the 2 young ladies and myself, and my guy went so he could watch and support us, and, he said he couldn't wait to see me go splat in the mud, which actually he was not able to see me go splat in the mud, but he did get to see my muddy. But anyway, so we did the obstacle course. I could not complete about half of the obstacles, and towards the end, I was kind of done. Both of the young ladies, they actually did complete every single obstacle. So I'm super proud of them. I plan on going next year, and my goal for next year is that I'm able to do more obstacles than what I had done this year. So that is absolutely fabulous. I feel like it's a great goal. Like I said, you don't become fit and active and start doing things when you get in shape. You get in shape by starting to do things. So like I said, to me, the more fun, the more apt I am to do it. If you tell me, hey, go run a mile, I'm going to say probably not, because that does not sound like fun to me. I am not a runner. I will walk on a treadmill. I will walk outside. I love to swim. These are things that I enjoy, but running, not really my cup of tea. But doing things, like I said, like the mud run, that is a blast. So, it was 3 miles. It was a lot, and I did get quite muddy. If I think of it, I will insert a picture of me being muddy. But anyway, it was a blast. I recommend that you guys check it out and see if you guys have mud runs. They do them all year, and it is for breast cancer. It's just awesome that in Nevada, it happens to always happen in October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But they do them all over the United States at different times of the year. In the summertime, it's way too hot here. It does get kind of cold in the wintertime to be in mud and water. So October really is the right temperature. And I think that that's what kind of dictates, the mud run. But I would definitely look it up, guys. I will link it in the description box below, and you guys can look it up and see what they've got going on in your state. And, hey, why not? Just saying, just putting it out there. You guys could come to Las Vegas, and you guys could plan to do a mud run next year in October, and you could get your nails done at Andromeda by Shan Plans. That would be fabulous, would it not? Right? Like kick off spooky season by a little getaway to Las Vegas and do the mud run and do like the Vegas thing and get your nails did by Shan, right? By Shan Plans, and go home and then celebrate spooky season. I think that sounds like an incredible trip. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this spread. I enjoyed it. The tiny little tulips kit was absolutely adorable. I loved, they have like these little scallop, I think quarter boxes. I think they're quarter boxes. They're either quarter or third. But yeah, they have these little scallop boxes that's a little unique, so I did enjoy that. It is a premium mat, and I'm never mad at a premium mat. And, you know, I love the colors. The foil was beautiful. So I will definitely be purchasing from Tiny Little Tulip again. And I hope you guys have an absolutely fabulous week. Again, don't forget to comment down below if you guys caught my little quirk that I happened to do the entire time that I was laying down the base for like almost every sticker I put down. I saw it and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's gotta change. I don't know if you guys watch your own videos and you see stuff like that and you're like, oh, what am I thinking? Well, that happened to me when I watched this video, when I was going through and just seeing, you know, me lay down the base. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I pointed it out to my guy and he just started laughing at me, you know. But anyway, so I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous week. I hope you guys enjoyed this spread. If you did, give me a like, and I will be seeing you next week. Goodbye.